So I decided to go on a fun mission to save the environment. I mean, not really, because the environment is fucked. This isn't going to save it, but it will help us save our natural resources, which could mitigate the damage of the environment in the most minor way possible. Which, to be fair, if we did that like with millions of different stuff, that would probably help the environment immensely. But I'm just saying, I don't want to rest on my own laurels. But I did have a good idea, to be fair. So here's what I've been doing, right? I've been going around making an atlas, and an atlas is a collection of stuff that's used to create levels, 3D levels in video games, right? So you have the atlas of course, collection of maps, big book of maps in the sort of pre-digital world, and now we use it as a metaphor to represent collected 3D assets that we use for map making purposes. So what I've done is that I've scoured Sketchfab, Creative Commons, been scouring it for people's old school projects, failed game projects, whatever else, just random stuff, random props, random things that people at some point decided to make, but now don't have any use for them. And I take those things and I recycle them. And when I say recycle them, I don't just mean I drag and drop them in here. I mean I clean up the junk data, I fix scaling issues, I sort out the shaders, I rebake the geometry, although I need to get better at that because I get lazy at times because, angles, they're kind of boring, you know what I mean? They're not sort of sexy like dimensions, they're just fucking azimuths. But even so, what I mean is, doing a lot of this work, fixing them up, standardizing them, making sure they're game ready, that they actually work in a game without crashing it. And I've been doing this now for 1,800 objects, 1,851 to be exact, I believe. Maybe a bit less actually, because this thing does have some loose mesh data here, so it's probably detached nodes, yeah. But you get the idea. I've done a few of them by now. And hopefully the idea is that I can then, share this as a resource, other developers can use it, and then we don't need, 100 different game companies all making the same fire hydrant, wasting electricity doing it, sometimes hours of electricity. This thing, if a lot of people used it, this thing could save a lot of electricity and help the environment, so that's kind of the idea. And I'll be using it myself too. I mean, it's a useful tool, so yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I think it's pretty cool. There's a lot of talk about recycling 3D assets, even though they require resources just like, anything else you do on a computer with technology that runs on electric, So, yeah, it's a way to clean up manufacturing, to hopefully help the environment a bit, make sure that indie devs don't always have to reinvent the wheel. The fidelity level is sort of late 2000s, because it's a nice mix of performance and graphics quality. Stuff generally looks good if you know how to do the lighting and how to design things right. Looks just fine. You don't need high poly meshes for everything to make it look good. You just need to know how to design a good level. There's a lot of beautiful games from 10 or 20 years ago that look just as good yesterday as they do today. They look charming and beautiful. They have creativity in them, so people don't care if the triangle count is a bit low. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm doing, that's how it works. Use case is generic items that we shouldn't constantly reinvent and waste resources. So yeah, you'll probably have to add some stuff on your own if you want things to look interesting, but so far basically what I have is everything you need to make a modern sort of contemporary city environment. I'll probably expand on genres later, but that's how I'm getting started. Anything you can find in like Sims or GTA is the kind of assets I'm going for. So right now I'm working on some warehouse shelving, right? And this is a quick PSA, because this is the warehouse shelving right here. These are the other fucking assets, up to and including what I think is a great comparator, namely some standardized warehousing shelves. This is one of the reasons why, by the way, I'm not just taking a piss here while I'm actually doing stuff, because a lot of this stuff needed fixing so that it didn't look like this. Which brings me to an important point, which is America, could you please learn the metric system? Because I deal with this a lot more than I should. I know that you get a migraine anytime you look at little squigglies next to the pictures of your fucking fast food menus, but if you learn the metric system, maybe you wouldn't have so many space shuttles blowing up in the 90s. So yeah, food for thought. I want to see America improve. I don't think you have to be the clowns of the world. I think that's a choice. Or should I say rodeo clowns? Still, you get the idea.